Good morning, you all. And today we will be discussing the topic hegemony as soft power, which is a topic in this chapter US hegemony, the third chapter of book A. And it will be quite a big mistake when we have discussed this US military power as the most powerful one, that is hegemony as hard power, or when we talk about US economy, the biggest one when we talk about hegemony as a structural power. But it will be quite a big mistake when we avoid the most influential one, when we avoid the most powerful dimension of US hegemony, that is ideological or cultural dimension. In today's world, if a country is the most powerful one in terms of military, even if a country's economy is the most powerful one, it cannot be called hegemony. Why? Because even the more powerful or more influential element than military or economy is basically ideology or cultural dimension. And I must say, in this regard, US is the most successful one. And this is the thing which we will be discussing in my today's lecture. Now, hegemony as soft power arises when the dominant class or country can win the consent of dominated classes by persuading the dominated classes, or by persuading the dominated classes their point of view in such a manner. Like basically the dominant class persuades the dominated classes for having those ideas which are beneficial for the dominant class. Then only this hegemony as soft power becomes successful. So hegemony as soft power lies in the capacity to generate consent, not at all by persuading people by threat. No, by their own will, by their own wish. If the countries of the world are willing to follow American culture, certain norms or certain rules and regulations, or certain ideas which are totally the upbringing of American culture, then we must say that Americans are the most influential one. US hegemony as soft power is the most successful one. And this is which is happening with America. This is the one American culture, I must say, that is the most convincing one on this planet. American idea, may it be related to culture, may it be related to lifestyle, may it be related to success, may it be related to good life, whatever it is, we are following, most of the countries of the world are following, directly or indirectly. Every idea basically has its foundation in America. So every idea is an American one. You people wear jeans. Did someone force you to wear it? No. It has become an inherent part of our lifestyle, and nobody discusses about it. May it be related to eating burger, may it be related to visiting malls, may it be related to wearing westerns, whatever it is. We have adapted all those things in our lifestyle in such a manner that it has become a part of our culture. And this is where American culture wins. And this is where America proves itself to be an hegemon in terms of soft power. American culture, it is considered to be a dream culture. Whatever has happened after is happening in this country or everywhere all over the world after coronavirus, maybe ideas change, maybe things can be different. But since it is when we talk about till now, whatever the conditions are, no culture is over there which can compete with American culture. So far its power to convince, so far its capacity to persuade people is concerned. The best example, when we again we go back to the beginning of the chapter, when this boy Andre and his cool pair of jeans, and Andre is a Russian boy, and when his parents were young people in the USSR, this blue jeans was a symbol of freedom. It was a symbol of individual freedom. For an entire Soviet generation, blue jeans came up to represent aspirations of the good life. If someone is like able to own, someone is able to own a pair of blue jeans, it means, he is leading a good life. So this idea is basically American, because jeans nowadays, of course, it has its root in France, but of course everybody knows that America, that jeans has it's that origin, jeans origin is an American one, and everywhere it is worn, we do not even think just once that we are adapting the lifestyle or the culture of some other country when we are wearing jeans. So how smoothly they have made their place in our daily life, how we, without even our own realization. And this is what hegemon as soft power, this is what this American hegemony is, that without the realization of the dominant class, the dominated ones, they become successful in having those notions, in persuading them, in having those notions which are beneficial for them, especially in having eminence, especially in having power of convincing. And even when we talk about during the Cold War, the US found it difficult to defeat in terms of military. US was of course, USSR gave them a hard challenge, and that is the reason the whole world was a bipolar one. But in terms of military, or even in terms of economic power, when we talk about structural power, the centralized economic power of the USSR was able to give a challenge to the rest of the world's economy, which was a capitalistic one. But when we talk about this cultural power, when we talk about the power of convincing, of course, USA was very much in victorious condition. It was in the area of soft power, it was in terms of convincing power only that the US was ultimately triumphant. That is the reason, this ideological war was won by the US, because that idea was very much prevalent. That idea is very much prevalent even nowadays in the rest of the world, that if this idea is American, it is a good one. Why is it so that we want to follow them without even our own realization? Everybody likes to eat burger. Some of you maybe want to have it regularly. Some of you want to taste it. But everybody wears jeans. Everybody likes to visit malls. Everybody likes to go for English movies, Hollywood movies and all. And most of them are American. Hollywood, of course, America. So it is that American dream is the dream of the world. Why is it so that every dream is an American one? This is where their victory lies. I am not challenging their power of convincing when I am explaining you this idea by using the word why. No. My idea is just, yes, they are in victorious side. That is the reason US is considered to be hegemon in terms of soft power. And the example which very much over there in our daily lives. Of course, in our lifestyle, the way we live, even the idea of freedom. Wearing a jeans, still it is considered to be, a symbol of power. When a girl wears jeans, this idea goes on. Of course, this idea can be contradictory, or this idea can be challenged by a number of people even on this platform only. But it is a fact that most of you, when a girl or a boy, especially a girl, wears a jeans, still it is considered to be a symbol of female freedom. When a boy wears a jeans, it is considered to be an indication of a symbol of individual freedom. It is liked by all. Hardly is there anybody in this world who can challenge jeans is the most convenient, convenient one, or the convenient outfit. Nobody dislikes it. Maybe some of us do not like to wear it, but hardly is there anyone who will say, no, I do not like jeans. Or even once in a while, we want to taste burger, or we like to taste pizza. We like to go to malls. We want to see what is over there. And here lies the victory of American culture. Here lies America as hegemony in terms of soft power. America did not use any kind of weapon. The US did not use any kind of threatening skills to convince people to wear jeans. or to convince people to visit malls. No, they have convinced, they have molded our opinions in such a manner that it is considered to be an example of good lifestyle. And this is what their power lies. And that is the reason America is called hegemon in terms of soft power only. And here now we complete all those three dimensions of hegemony. That is, US military power as a hard power, as hegemony in terms of hard power, US economy in terms of structural power, and US culture in terms of soft power. Thank you.